right now at 7.
Storm watch, a rainy ride home, but there are more changes in store tonight over the next few hours.
This is a new virus, so we don't know when you're truly infectious.
The coronavirus reaches the U.S. The extra precautions tonight at airports, including SFO, and the unanswered questions.
We know it can spread from person to person, but is this frequent? Is it common?
Plus the crazy story behind these furry heroes caught on camera in the South Bay.
A new tiny home community coming to this state-owned property near Highway 101. The final hurdles that were cleared between the city and the state.
Whatever anyone wants to say, this is not a solution.
And the rain is still falling right now on the KPIX-5 News at 7 and streaming on CBSN Bay Area. The Richmond-San Rafael Bridge is getting hit pretty hard right now. Good evening. I'm Elizabeth Cook.
And I'm Ken Bassita. We got a live look at some of the other cameras around the bay, and you can see pretty slick conditions on both the Bay Bridge and the Golden Gate right now for your drive home. Traffic is moving nicely, though. And a live look out at SFO. Weather is having an impact on flights tonight. Last check, there have been more than 300 delays and about 40 cancellations.
Brian Hackney joining me now with high-def Doppler. Now, Brian, the system is starting to taper off a bit, but we do have some changes coming our way.
We do. In fact, it will allow us to finally dry out a little bit, but there's more rain on the way. First, let's deal with this stuff. The weak cold front that moved through the Bay Area and has left not much behind. You can see on the high-def Doppler that up in the North Bay, it really doesn't want to quit raining. There are some light showers that are falling from American Canyon and up through Napa out toward the San Pablo Bay and Highway 37. It's raining mostly on the Fish in San Francisco Bay, but a little bit on the East Bay shoreline as well. These showers are mostly light, and they have not even reached the Santa Clara Valley. The big green blob that you see to the left, in fact, is just the rain that's unwinding at higher elevations. So along Skyline, yes, but down in the valley, no. And that's been the case since it started raining this morning in the North Bay. It hadn't amounted to much. Santa Rosa about 4/10, same for Mill Valley. Napa's picked up about 4/10, but by the time you get to San Francisco, just 700ths of an inch. And in San Jose, nothing recordable anyway. For tomorrow, we'll head out with fog and mostly cloudy skies, but in general, the tendency will be toward more sun coming out on Wednesday. So to sum it up, showers will linger for a few more hours, but they're heading south and east. Dense fog will form overnight and through the morning commute, and then things do clear out tomorrow by the afternoon, and there is more rain on the way. We'll tell you if that's going to be as hard-hitting as this. Actually, it's going to be a stronger system coming in. We'll have the details in a few minutes. Ken?
All right, Brian, thanks for that. We've got some new numbers we want to pass along. This is just in on this coronavirus outbreak in China. At least 440 people there are now sickened by it. 9 have died. Meantime, the first U.S. case has just been confirmed in Washington State. KPIX-5's Andrea Borba is live at SFO, one of just 5 U.S. airports now accepting direct flights from Wuhan, China, where the outbreak is centered. Andrea?
Well, Ken, the CDC is here and scanning passengers as they come off of flights from Wuhan, China, to make sure that they do not have a global pandemic on their hands. At check-in for one of 3 weekly China Southern flights from SFO to Wuhan, China, concern over the pneumonia-like novel coronavirus was low.
They told me that with my age, because I have a strong immune system and all that, it's not a big deal. I mean, worst case scenario, I got it. I mean, I can recover.
Putting a little stress on me, but no.
I got a strong immune system.
The first case has hit U.S. soil. A man in his 30s in Everett, Washington, returned last week from Wuhan and began noticing symptoms.
I'm thankful that the man who tested positive for this virus acted so quickly and sought treatment. His actions gave us a head start.
On the ground in Wuhan, the city's fish market, believed to be the epicenter, crews sanitized streets. At Chinese airports, passengers had their temperatures taken as cases of the illness have popped up in Japan, Thailand, and now South Korea.
This is a new virus, so we don't know when you're truly infectious. Like some viruses, you can be infectious a couple days before you show symptoms. We don't know that yet, so this is part of learning a new virus.
The disease has sickened 440 and killed 9 people so far.
We know it can spread among humans from person to person, but is this frequent? Is it common? That's something we don't know quite yet.
At SFO, screenings for coronavirus so far have been confined to customs on planes arriving from Wuhan and passengers connecting from there. Now, Ken, we have a call into the CDC right now to see if they're going to begin screening passengers coming in from other parts of China, those major hubs like Shanghai, Beijing, and Chengdu. So far, we have not heard back from them.
Scary, scary stuff. All right, Andrea Borba at the airport. Thank you, Andrea.
Right now, the city of Campbell is getting ready to vote whether or not to approve a new Chick-fil-A. The restaurant would be built at the corner of Bascom and Arroyo Seco Drive, where a Denny's currently operates. But opponents say a Chick-fil-A is a bad idea for the city and are worried about the traffic it would bring. The meeting gets underway at 7:30 tonight. We'll bring you the very latest on the KPIX-5 News at 11.
Pretty bizarre citizen's arrest caught on camera in San Jose. A group of people attending FurCon helped restrain a man who was attacking a woman. Take a look.
Hey, no, Joe, no.
Yeah, this happened Friday night. Yes, that man is dressed as a pink dinosaur. Another was dressed as a tiger. Several more saw a woman being assaulted. They dragged the attacker out of the car and held him down for police. The suspect was arrested for domestic violence.
Tonight, Oakland could vote to become the first major city in California to ban landlords from conducting criminal background checks on future tenants. A recent survey shows that 73% of Oakland's homeless encampment residents do have criminal records. Supporters of the ban say it will be a chance for thousands of formerly incarcerated people to turn their lives around. We met one man who got out of prison back in 2012 and says it's been a struggle to find a place to live.
It does something to you. It really does. Psychologically, mentally, spiritually, emotionally. And you can even reach a place to where you just give up looking.
And we learned a little while ago that a 58-year-old homeless woman was the victim in yesterday's hit and run in Berkeley. Her name has not yet been released. She was hit on the sidewalk along 6th Street near University Avenue by a suspect that police were trying to pull over. That driver is still on the run tonight.
Well, a housing solution finally moving forward in the South Bay. Some tiny cabins could be springing up along Highway 101. KPIX-5's Len Ramirez explains how the city of San Jose is teaming up with Caltrans to try to get people off the streets.
Well, this has been years in the making, but the deal is finally done. San Jose will lease the property behind me from the state of California for $1 a month to build a new tiny home community in a neighborhood where the homeless have already moved in. There are dozens of homeless encampments already lining Felipe Avenue and surrounding streets near Highway 101, and the people are living alongside piles of trash and filth.
This is San Jose, California, the richest city in the United States. So again, whatever anyone wants to say, this is not a solution.
But it is just steps away from what could be a solution, a tiny home encampment for the homeless to be built and run by the city on this state-owned land in between and underneath the Highway 101, 280, and 680 freeway ramps.
They're going to put camps on the street anyway.
Pastor Scott Wagers, an advocate for the homeless for 30 years, says he's glad an idea he's been pushing now finally will become a reality.
If you have them in a sanctioned encampment on land that can be sanitized, as it were, state-owned, where you can get advocates like myself and others to come and help build a community, you can avoid this kind of mess.
A housing department memo details the final agreements between the city and the state over insurance and liability for the camp. It will include several tiny wooden homes called sleeping cabins, which are already being built off-site to be moved onto the freeway property soon.
Yep, well, have a little home. Have a stable roof over your head, a door that you can lock.
The tiny home community will be considered bridge housing, not permanent housing, and the city of San Jose says it will begin installing water and power lines soon. In San Jose, Len Ramirez, KPIX-5.
Coming up next, encouraging new numbers on violent crime in San Francisco.
One of the key statistics is the lowest it's been in almost 7 decades. The police chief's response.
The statistics, they really don't matter when it happens to you.
Ficus trees are great trees. They're wonderful trees. The problem is they're the wrong tree in the wrong place.
Tension tonight over trees. The showdown in one city over cutting down dozens of them.
And in sports, why 49ers star Richard Sherman will appreciate this trip to the Super Bowl much more than his last one. And don't forget, we are streaming now on CBSN Bay Area. You can find us on KPIX.com, the CBS News app, or your favorite platform.
Dennis joins us now. Niners continue the countdown tomorrow. We got a little countdown clock or anything? Maybe we can do that.
We should start that.
We should get a countdown clock.
How about that? We're the king of countdown clocks here in the Bay Area.
Let's count down to the countdown clock.
Super Bowl countdown starts tomorrow.
All right, perfect.
Thank you. 49ers Richard Sherman was graded the best cornerback in the NFL this year by Pro Football Focus. Wasn't that long ago. The 49er faithful couldn't stand this guy.
Well, I'm the best corner in the game. When you try me with a sorry receiver like Crabtree, that's the result you're going to get. Don't you ever talk about me.
Now, the 49ers obviously lost that game. Seahawks went on to win the Super Bowl that year. Now Sherman is looking to win another one with San Francisco. Not much has changed besides the uniform. He's healthy, he's back to Pro Bowl form, and he's enjoying this Super Bowl experience even more.
I'm just a little older. You know, they call me uncle now. Back then, they didn't call me uncle. I was a young pistol starter. And now I'm year 9, so it's a different feel for me. You know, you appreciate things a little more. My son gets to go to the Super Bowl. My son's birthday is 3 days after the Super Bowl, and he wants a ring for his birthday. And, you know, I'm going to do my best to try to bring that to him.
Top graded cornerback in all of football. He allowed 1 touchdown and 517 passing snaps.
Wow.
Come a long way since that night in Seattle.
Calm down a little bit.
Yeah.
Mellow.
No, you need a leader,
yeah.
vociferous leader in the defensive backfield. He fills that role and more.
Been there, done that.
He's fun to watch.
Thanks, Dennis.
We're also keeping an eye on our weather. A little wet, soggy out there, but hopefully
Yes, and it'll all dry out. And let me say once again how fabulous it is to have you back.
Oh, thank you. It's good to be back.
Yeah, I'm glad you're here.
Oh, thank you. I missed you guys so much.
Yeah, well, you'll get plenty of us in the months ahead. We've got a weak cold front that's over the Bay Area right now, and a few hundredths of an inch in the South Bay. That's all she wrote. A little bit more than that up in the North Bay and in San Francisco. Just add a little water to the runway, and you get more than 300 delays, which is what happened at SFO today. It's still slick on the runways. Right now, the numbers are in the mid-50s in the Bay Area. In San Francisco, we've tumbled into the mid-50s. High-def Doppler shows not too much left behind. Weak cold front is pressed south of the Bay Area. There's still some light showers up there in the North Bay from American Canyon up through Napa. And over in the East Bay shoreline, finally around 880, streets are slick and some light rain is falling. But in the South Bay, not much at all. You can see over Skyline and out toward La Honda, they've got some rain unwinding over the coast range there, but it just wrings out all the moisture and there's nothing left for Sunnyvale and just a little light shower out there in San Jose. That low pressure is producing showers and rain that's going to be rainy for the next 7 days in Seattle because of those. The flow off the Pacific is taking all that moisture up into the Pacific Northwest. For us, high pressure builds in and dries us out. Still, we've got a problem out by the shore. That sneaker wave threat, rip current risk is in effect through tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. As for what's next, high pressure builds in. And not dramatically, but enough so that we'll dry it out by tomorrow morning. And the next shot of rain is coming in on Sunday. But dense fog will be a problem tonight and tomorrow morning and with the moisture and the cooling temperatures overnight. So a few lingering overnight showers drying out tomorrow. It'll be dry through Saturday. Next chance of rain moves into the Bay Area on Sunday. That will be windier. It'll be a little bit wetter as well. Overnight lows tonight will be in the mid-40s. Santa Rosa's down to 42 degrees. San Jose at 45 and Napa at 42 degrees. Forecast highs for tomorrow find most of them in the mid to upper 50s with slick streets in the early going, just the residual from the rain that we'll have tonight. 58 degrees at Mountain View tomorrow. Morgan Hill is up to 60 degrees. In Milpitas, 59 degrees. Over at the shoreline, a few more light showers tonight. And for tomorrow, increasing sunshine. Same for the East Bay. Walnut Creek at 58. In Brentwood, 57. In Antioch, 57 as well. And San Ramon, which had picked up 1/100th of an inch of rain from this, will have 59 tomorrow. Up in the North Bay, we'll see mid-50s. It'll be drying out. Not brilliant sunshine, but we'll have sun and some clouds. And the same for Ukiah and Lakeport And clearly, tomorrow will be in the upper 50s. The extended forecast, next shot of rain comes in on Sunday. Between now and then, clouds from time to time, but not much in the way of rain. In fact, after Sunday, there's not much in the way of rain at all. The really extended forecast is showing that when we go dry next Monday, we stay that way pretty much for the entirety of next week. But stay tuned. That's at least the way it looks now. Hey, Liz.
Hey, Ryan, thank you. Well, here's what you missed if you're just getting home right now. Opening arguments in President Trump's impeachment trial are expected to begin tomorrow afternoon after a very difficult day one. Today was mostly a bitter battle over the ground rules. Majority Leader Mitch McConnell was pushing a plan to cram 24 hours of opening arguments for each side into just 2 days.
He pushes the arguments into the wee hours of the night so American people won't see them.
After moderate Republicans also objected, McConnell agreed to give each side 3 days. Minority Leader Chuck Schumer then moved on to the biggest fight of all, whether we'll see White House documents and witnesses.
Not a single president has issued a blanket direction to his administration to produce no documents and no witnesses.
That whole thing is a total hoax, so I'm sure it's going to work out fine.
Tonight, San Francisco police is reporting a huge drop in violent crime. There were 41 homicides last year. That's the lowest number since 1961. Robberies, assaults, and sex crimes were also down. And one of the city's biggest issues, vehicle burglaries, showed a drop of 2%.
When you are the victim of a violent crime, really the stats, the statistics, they really don't matter when it happens to you. And we understand that. And that's why building relationships is so important. That's why our strategies focus on prevention rather than reaction.
And police are investigating an alleged battery involving former NFL star Antonio Brown. Cops surrounded his home in Hollywood, Florida today. Officers arrived after reports that Brown and his trainer attacked the driver of a moving truck. His trainer was taken into custody. Brown has not been arrested. Ken?
Thank you, Liz. Coming up next, the high-dollar, highly orchestrated agricultural heist. How were suspects able to make off with almost 100 Northern California beehives?
About a $44,000 hit just for income this year.
Except you tell me, doesn't these trees behind me make this place look a lot better?
Well, some frustration tonight over plans in San Francisco to chop down dozens of beloved trees. Plus, look at the size of that kid throwing the ball. Whoa. Wait till you hear who that is. Here's a hint. He'll play a huge role in the Super Bowl.
Tonight, investigators are looking for the thieves who stole 92 thriving beehives.
Well, this happened this week at a big orchard just south of Yuba City. The owner says he has spent all year maintaining them. He believes that they are worth about $18,000, but he says the loss is much more devastating since several nearby growers depend on those bees to pollinate their crops. Well, the owner believes that the thieves used a flatbed truck, and he has a theory about why they did it.
Their hives died from whatever diseases they had, and they're replenishing them, would be my guess. About a $44,000 hit just for income this year.
Now at 7, a ficus fight in San Francisco. Nearly 5,000 people have signed a petition to protect the aging trees that line places like the main library and 24th Street in the Mission. But the city says ficus trees are a safety hazard and require removal. Back in 2016, voters made the city responsible for its 125,000 street trees.
Ficus trees are great trees. They're wonderful trees. The problem is they're the wrong tree in the wrong place. They're the ones that are now responsible if those trees fall and hurt someone.
You tell me, doesn't these trees behind me make this place look a lot better?
Appeals and litigation have delayed tree removal in some cases for years. Some say the ficus standoff is preventing the city from planting a new generation of trees to replace them.
Coming up next, who is this giant kid right here? Wow. The Chiefs head coach, Andy Reid, was a huge kid. Look at him compared to the kid behind him. Oh my gosh. Check this clip out. He's just 13 in that picture. He's twice as big as all the other kids. This was him competing in the NFL punt, pass, and kick competition. Reed was so much bigger, they had to actually give him an actual jersey from one of the Rams players. He, of course, hopes to win his first Super Bowl ever if the Chiefs can beat the Niners.
You gotta look at the little kid behind him going, oh no.
Boy.
Well, thanks for watching. Tonight at 7 o'clock, the news continues on our streaming CBSN Bay Area.